So what is up, guys? This is Faye back here, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, in today's video, we'll be talking about Genshin Impact. Yes, so version 3.2 has just landed, and of course, everyone is like more interested in the storyline, but obviously, some of us are still more into the gacha system or the character banners, to be exact. So in today's video, I pulled Nahida. Yeah, I did pull Nahida, and I'll be doing a slight explanation and on how good Nahida actually is. So I actually pulled Nahida, and I managed to full build her on the second day itself. So here is my current Nahida stats. For level 90, like um HP as normal, HP, attack, defense, everything looks fine. And I have 1,000 elemental mastery as I'm using Gilded Dreams, and everything is fine, normal. And of course the crit rate is slightly lower because I'm going a full EM build, so the crit rate and crit damage will be lower compared to others. So the injury recharge is normal as she generates quite an amount of particles. This is like slightly out of my expectations. And I didn't give any dendro damage bonus. Like, I totally ignored damage and just went for full EM as a support. So for weapons, I did a previous video like on what weapon is suitable for her. So for now, I'm using sacrificial fragments for replacement. I was expecting to use the Fruit of Fulfillment once I like fully leveled it, because it gives an injury charge and some EM while just losing attack, which is like a good deal. Compare sacrificial fragments. I mean, sacrificial fragments are good, but my sucrose needs it more than Nahida. Like, sucrose can use it to proc more sword reactions or more battery, give more animal particles. So for now, her weapon is like something like this. She's almost flexible on any weapon. Like, you see my back here, I can use Skyward Atlas, sacrificial fragments, also on I2, Eye of Perception, Weight Sieve, the Local Tails for on-view DPS, for bonus Codex 2 as support, and Fruit of Fulfillment 2. Yeah, she can technically use almost every single like catalyst except for some special cases. So for artifacts, there are two types of 4-piece set. So I personally recommend more Gilded Dreams, 4-piece Gilded Dreams instead of 4-piece Deepwood. So a lot of people have been like telling me, or around me have been like saying Deepwood is better than Gilded Dreams, as it provides like more damage and decreased dendro resonance. So what I want to say is yes, Deepwood, like as you can see here, like it gives dendro damage bonus, and after elemental skill burst hits opponents, the target's dendro resistance will be decreased by 30% for 8 seconds. This effect can be triggered even if the equipping character is not on the field. Yes, this is like seems like a really good piece set, but don't forget that Nahida's play role in the team is still a support or a elemental reaction trigger sub DPS. So Deepwood may look really good, but in fact at some point that it's not that good. And so a lot of them like are saying like Nahida 800 EM is already enough, it's already sufficient, but in my personal opinion it's never sufficient. Yes, so the more EM you have, the more damage or the higher scaling your elemental reactions damage can be going higher. So that means that EM technically doesn't have a limit, same as attack percent or crit damage. So everyone says like it's capped already, you won't go any higher, there won't be any much benefit. So what I want to say here is don't for them, they are restricting themselves to the character's kit or their character's mechanics. So don't get yourself tied to the character's mechanics or the character's kit. Just go for higher or like put your vision wider and just go for higher, like, just go for higher, like, what should I say? Yeah, just go for higher, like, higher visions or higher opinions. Right, so my artifact set, as you can see, is 4-piece gilded. Adds 80 EM. Within 8 seconds of triggering an elemental reaction, they will obtain buffs based on the elemental type of the other party members. Like for example, if the same element type is same as the equipping characters, they gain 14% attack for every single party member. Like according to every single party member for the equipping character herself or himself. So if it's different from the equipping character's element, the equipping character will get like 50 EM for every party member with a different elemental type. Each of the aforementioned buffs will count to 3 characters. This effect can be triggered once every 8 seconds. The character who equipped this can still trigger its effect when not on the field. So why do I say like 4-piece Gilded Dreams are actually better? So first things first, adds a lot of EM, which Nahida actually needs, and it's flexible. Good. The 4-piece is good. Like even if you like put 4 dendro characters as Nahida in the team, you still gain like how much 38. You still get like 42% of like attack, which is kind of a lot. If you don't put the same party member as her elemental burst required, like you put 3 different, like I mean it's also good, like it increased 50 EM for every party member. So if you put 3 different characters, like regardless of like restricting like pyro, electro or hydro, yeah, regardless of that, like they didn't restrict, like it's just say a different elemental type, so it means that any other different elements that doesn't like collide with each other, like for example you put Nahida and you put Kazuha or Zhongli or Raiden or something, yeah, so it can still trigger this 4-piece. So you can get like a 350 EM from here, which is actually quite insane. And her elemental skill duration is actually 25 seconds. So this effect can trigger once every 8 seconds. So like this thing is technically a permanent proc. Yeah. But triggering an elemental reaction requires you to like put at least a hydro or pyro or an electro to proc the dendro reaction. So for my piece here, I'll have an EM circlet, I have an EM goblet, as well as an EM sense. Right, the stats are a bit copium, just ignore it. And the feather on piece 2, and also the flower on piece 2. So her constellations, I don't have budget to go for constellations. So for her constellation 1 is actually one of the best constellation for her kit. So it says when the Shrine of Maya is unleashed and the elemental types of the party members are being tabulated, which is I will mention later in the elemental burst, and the count will add 1 to the number of pyro, electro, and hydro characters respectively. So this means that you doesn't have to lock to 2 like party members of the same elemental type in your teams. So you can literally bring what I just said, like 1 pyro, 1 electro, and 1 hydro. So in short words, the C1 is actually pretty cracked, to be honest. And her C2 is more to like a DPS or a support, sub DPS or a support constellation. So opponents that are marked by the Seed of Skandha, which is her elemental skill applied by Nahida herself, will be affected by the following effects. So Burning, Bloom, Hyper Bloom, and Burgeon reaction damage they receive can score crit hits. So this means that the elemental reaction can finally crit. And crit rate and crit damage are fixed at 20% and 100% respectively. The first buff you see too is like more to a damage related buff. So the second one is within 8 seconds of being affected by quicken aggravate spread, defense is increased by 30%. So this one is more to a support part, like if you are playing an electro aggravate, quicken, or spread, or on-field Nahida. Yeah, this one is more to like a damage buffing constellation. So C3 is increasing her elemental skill level by 3, and her C5 is increase her elemental burst level by 3. So the C5, I did some research. By passing above level 10, the elemental burst can still bypass the restriction. Like for example, we all know that Raiden's elemental burst like regens 2.5 energy at level 5, and when you get over that, like that specific value won't get affected. But for Nahida, she went above the cap, so it means that she will still get increased after level 10. So it's like level 13 you'll get an even more buff, if I'm not wrong. And her C4 is technically giving her more elemental mastery. So when 1, 2, 3, 4 or more nearby opponents are affected by all scheme to no Seed of Skandha, which is her elemental skill, Nahida's elemental mastery will be increased by 100, 120, 140, 160. This is just free EM. And also more damage increase since her elemental skill are like skill on EM and attack too. So her C6, yeah. So this is actually quite correct after I like figure it out properly. So it says when Nahida hits an opponent affected by all schemes to no Seed of Skandha with normal charge attacks, yeah, then the pro elemental reactions. After unleashing Illusory Heart, which is I believe is the elemental burst if I'm not wrong, she will use Try Karma Purification, Karmic Oblivion on this opponent and all connected opponents, dealing dendro damage based on 200% of Nahida's attack and 400% of her elemental mastery. Damage dealt by Try Karma Purification Karmic Oblivion is considered elemental skill damage. Yep, and can be triggered once every 0.2 seconds. This effect can last up to 10 seconds and will be removed after Nahida has unleashed 6 instances of Try Karma Purification Karmic Oblivion. So her C6 is more like a sub DPS major increase, since you get to prop more dendro and you get to get free scaling. Yeah. You get free scaling like free 200% of Nahida's attack and 400% of elemental mastery as DPS. But 6 instances is her restriction. They don't want to make her like too broken or something. So that's all for Constellation. Now we will talk about talents. So her normal attacks are, yeah, she's a dendro catalyst, so her normal attacks perform not to 4 attacks that deal dendro damage. And her charge attack consumes a certain amount of stamina to deal AoE dendro damage. And meanwhile, her plunging attack just normal. Right, so here is a scaling at level 6. I will level up to level 9, but I was restricted by the Scaramouche weekly boss material. So this is a scaling at level 6. So here is her elemental skill. So sends forth coming bonds of wood and tree from a side, dealing AoE dendro damage and marking up to 8 opponents hit with the Seal of Skandha. When held, this skill will be triggered differently. So there are 2 states of this skill. One is you hold enters aiming mode, which allow you to slay a limited number of opponents within a limited area. During this time, Nahida's resistance to interruption will be increased. By will be increased, I mean greatly increased. I tried before, like getting hit by enemies, like she still won't fly away. When you release this skill, reduce dendro damage to these opponents and marks them with the Seed of Skandha. Aiming mode will last up to 5 seconds and can select a maximum of 8 opponents. Yep, this is actually quite a quick scope for PC players, but I'm not sure about mobile players. So if you tap, she will just do a circle around her, like for example like this. Yeah, it will just be something like this. If you use tap, but if you hold, you will enter something like this, and you can mark enemies with this. Right. So coming back, what does the Seed of Skandha do? If you didn't watch my previous video, I'll explain it again here. So opponents who have been marked by the Seed of Skandha will be linked to one another up till a certain distance. So the certain distance I actually tried, it's pretty long. It's actually quite long. So after you trigger elemental reactions on opponents who are affected by the Seed of Skandha, or when they take damage from dendro cores, including Virgin and Hyper Bloom, Nahida will unleash Try Karma Purification on the opponents and all connected opponents, dealing dendro damage based on the attack and EM. You can trigger at most 1 Try Karma Purification within a short period of time, which is the ICD stated there. So this is the scaling of Nahida's level 7 elemental skill. So her press damage is the normal, or damage is normal too, but the trade current purification damage is actually quite insane. Like the elemental mastery is like, the scaling on elemental mastery is double the times of the attack. So that's why I say like stacking EM is also quite good for Nahida compared to stacking like attack on her. And there's the ICD I said just now. The tricurrent purification trigger interval is 2.5 seconds. However, you can your elemental burst can affect this internal cooldown duration. So the Sea of Skandar duration is 25 seconds, which is very long, the second longest in the whole game. The longest is Albedo, by the way, 30 seconds. So her duration is same as Raiden, 25 seconds. And for her press CD it will be 5 seconds, or 4 point something to be exact. And the whole CD is like 6 seconds, which is like 5 point something seconds. So here is her elemental burst. So manifest the Core of Dreams and expand the Shrine of Maya. The Shrine of Maya field is unleashed. The following effects will separately unleash based on the elemental types present within the party. So that if it was only affected by 3 types of elements in your party. So first is Pyro, second is Electro, third is Hydro. So for Pyro, while Nahida remains within the Shrine of Maya, the damage dealt by Tricurrent Purification from all schemes to no is increased. And for Electro, while Nahida remains within the Shrine of Maya, the interval between each Tricurrent Purification from all schemes to no is decreased. So for Hydro, the Shrine of Maya's duration is increased. Means the whole elemental burst duration is increased. When there are at least 2 party members of the aforementioned elemental types present in the field is deployed, the aforementioned effects will be increased further. Even if Nahida is on the field, these bonuses will still take effect so as long as the party members are within the Shrine of Maya. So here are the buffs and scalings for level 7 elemental burst. So as you can see, I said just now, like the buffs will affect, like, depends on how many types of character, elemental types or character types you have on your team. So if you have a C1, you can technically just ignore like the 2 characters restriction bonus. You can just go YOLO on every single one element. So for Pyro damage bonus, you'll increase the elemental skill damage by 22.3 or 33.5. For Electro, the elemental skill duration will be decreased by 0.37 for 1 second. The internal cooldown of that thing. And if you have 2 characters, it will be decreased by 0.56 seconds. And if you have Hydro characters, the whole ulti duration will be extended by 5 seconds or 7.5 seconds, which is really long. And this will still increase, like as you can see here, like it will still increase more as I upgrade it. I was restricted by this thing. So her elemental burst is like a low cost and then like almost a permanent buff if you keep her like energy up, since you can just easily bypass the base duration of the the base duration is already bypassing the CD. You can make it even longer somehow. So it depends on what kind of combination you want to put in your team to obtain these buffs. Of course, if you have a C1, you can just start 1 Pyro, 1 Electro, and 1 Hydro in your team. Yeah, so C1 is like very a huge increase after all. So for her Ascension Talent 1, right, when unleashing the Elemental Burst, the Shrine of Maya will gain the following effects. The Elemental Mastery of the active character within the field will be increased by 25% of the Elemental Mastery of the party member with the highest Elemental Mastery. You can gain a maximum of 250 Elemental Mastery in this manner. So means that according to this, elemental mastery of the active character within the field will be increased by 25%, okay, out of 100 of the elemental mastery of the party member with the highest elemental mastery. So this is why I say like don't just like stack 800 EM and think of like, nah, this is enough. Okay, right, so this is a support, more to like a support passive talent. So it says you can get a maximum of 250 elemental mastery in this manner and a 25% restriction. So this means that you can stack like up to 1000 EM. Yeah, you can stack up to like 1000 EM to permanently activate this, so you don't have to rely on that the 4-piece effect proc. So for me, I stack 1000 EM on base, so I'm not that afraid. Like I can just permanently activate and get this buff. While for others who are relying on this, like you build, for example, you build crit or something, so you don't have enough, you may need to pay attention to this thing, to pair with this thing here, right? So her second ascension talent is each part of Nahida's elemental mastery beyond 200 will grant 0.1% bonus damage and 0.03% crit rate to Tri-Karma's purification from all schemes to know. Maximum of 80% bonus damage and 24% crit rate can be granted to Tri-Karma purification in this manner. So this is the ascension talent where everyone is like saying Nahida doesn't need to stack a lot of EM. She just need to stack like 800 EM is enough, or you can just go crit rate or something like that. Yeah, this is what I'm pretty triggered. Like you're limiting yourself to this passive talent or ascension talent, so restricting yourself to wider visions. So it's really bad for you to like pay too much attention on this while ignoring some other facts. Oh, I'll say later. So her passive talents that comes with her is Nahida can use all schemes to know to interact with some harvestable items within a fixed AoE, including flowers, fruits, or technically anything. This skill may even have some other effects. Yeah, regarding about this some other effects, it's actually you can fun thing is you can use the whole status to scan NPC to listen what their heart is actually saying. So this is actually a really fun thing to like sneak out on other NPCs to like see what they're actually thinking. So regarding about stacking EM, so a lot of people have been saying like, nah, Nahida 800 EM is already enough. Like you don't have to go too high. Like Deepwood, like it's like telling me like Deepwood you stack EM and then you stack some crit, you'll be really good. So what I want to say is there why I say EM have no like there's no cap for EM. So first we need to understand what EM does. So what EM does is EM can strengthen the benefits gained from elemental reactions, which means increase the damage of your elemental reactions by not affecting their scaling. For example, I have 1000 EM here. Increases damage dealt by Vaporize and Melt by 116.4%. You need to know like my Huta is like only 177, and then I only have like 31.2% of Vaporize and Melt. So that's why I say like EM technically has literally no cap, as you can just infinitely go on and on, as long as, but the downside is you need to proc elemental reactions. But according from this, it's already quite cracked. According, like, imagine this is not affected by affecting your scaling. Like you just directly gain buffs from the EM itself instead of like you need to add and plus the scaling and everything. Like the buff from the EM itself is already like so much. That's why EM is like literally no cap. You can keep going on and more and more. Like EM will never like say there's too much. And it also increases damage dealt by overloaded, super conduct, electrocharge, burning, shatter, swirl, bloom, hyper bloom, and burgeon damage by 536.1%. Imagine how much they actually get from this. So I personally tried using Nahida to proc bloom. I get like 18k of bloom damage, which is actually really insane, and increases the damage bonus provided by aggravate and spread by 228.2%. Yes, means that every hit I get, if I trigger aggravate, you need to trigger aggravate in order to get this thing. So I will do like extra scaling 228.2%. So increases the damage absorption power of shields created through crystallized by 185.8%. I mean, Nahida technically won't trigger this. This is more like a geo thing. So that's all I want to say, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's pretty all I want to say. And yeah, that's all. But but I'm pretty sure a lot of viewers who view this video is going to be like trash talk me like no, according to calculations and blah blah blah, this and that, all the bullshit. Okay, like I'm wrong or something. Alright. I mean, I already gave my advice. It's all up to you, like whether do you want to listen, or whether do you not. I mean, I already gave my advice. I already did the best I can to not misguide you on the wrong path. But if you decided like not to, then not to. I mean, it's your choice after all. I won't blame you or anything. So here is the snipe Nahida. Showcase like this. Yeah. I can see like 17k or 18k bloom. Yeah.
有大家在身边，枪口就不会痛。热乎热乎嘛！支持成型。见识下师傅的枪法。
大之王，你已经准备好了。
我来保护大家。羽线难画。为我扬起杀神吧！还以留定兵，以断罪。别想逃！ 形随神智，才该行动了。
一如小姐所言，
收起来吧。任何人和马。我来保护大家。以断罪。开锅了，开锅了！讲不通就打脸了。羽线难画，支持成景。回应我吧。该走攻击了。收起来吧。
自然。可叹落叶飘零。
有牵手，知识与你分享。
剑影。
好好站稳了，记住你了。
秋水3尺。
全都看见了。我来保护大家。见识下师傅的枪法。果然是秘thuật。
又来了。
任何人和马。日夜唤醒。该走攻击了。嘿哈！彩雨流红，彩。羽线难画。收起来吧。我来保护大家。说吧，喷火，现身吧。见识下师傅的枪法。出师成景。该走攻击了。
一如小姐所愿，
嘿。才该行动。收起来吧。我来保护大家。讲不通就打扁了。果然是秘术。以断罪之名。任何人和马。顶之压，该走攻击了。断。才雨流。见识下师傅的枪法。光吧，喷火。
Right, so that's all about this video today. I hope I really did give you some good advice and you can give deep thoughts about it. So if you have any questions or like justifications, you can just leave it in the comment section if you think that I'm wrong or something, and I'll try to reply you. So that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching this long video. Appreciate it. So I'll see you in the next video, and peace.